How's everybody doing today? So I'm going to really power through the beginning of this video because I am seriously running out of time before I lose light here. Today I'm going to be starting a new series of videos that I've been wanting to do. This one slightly atypical from the ones that will come in the future for two distinct reasons. Firstly, normally these Friday story videos are going to be intended to kind of break up the more serious content related to the 2018 election cycle. So there won't typically be a normal video on that day. The one that went up earlier today was actually intended to be a video for yesterday, but I had to reshoot some things. I ended up reshooting the whole thing, and it couldn't get out until today. Secondly, in the future, these videos will not be videos about current events. Like, they won't be videos about things that happened to me today. They'll be videos about things that happened to me way in the past. I have kind of a list of stories or ideas in my head, things that I think will make interesting videos. And again, this is just more of like a personality thing, like a sit down and chill thing, a more relaxed thing, because of the more serious nature of the content right now, because we're going into the midterm elections. But today is a unique case, because today, knowing full well that I was going to be doing this video, something very, very interesting happened to me. I'm sure you already read the title, that I felt like talking about, because I did in fact win the lottery today, and I did it without ever buying a ticket. And when I say ever, I mean ever, as in I've never ever bought one. This is because I personally feel that gambling is a waste of money. It's designed so that by nature, people lose more than they win. That's why it's profitable for people who run the lotteries or casinos or whatever. It always cracks me up when you see people who buy like $100 worth of lotto tickets every week when they get paid, and they're like, oh, this week I won $500. And I think to myself, no you didn't, because A, you won $400 really, because the other $100 was your initial investment, so that's actually kind of a wash. And B, you invest that $100 every week, and 19 out of 20 times you lose it all. And most of the time, even when they win that $500, like half to all of it goes right back into buying more lottery tickets until they eventually lose. I never got that. I've seen so many people come and like cash in winning tickets and then just buy losing tickets with them. Doesn't make any sense to me. Me, I'm a more frugal sort, so I don't play that. But today, a unique thing happened, and let me go ahead and tell you the story. So, I was at a gas station that I often frequent, and wherein I know the people who work there. And I was waiting on somebody to give me a call. I just didn't want to go home at the moment. It just wasn't conducive to what I had going on, right? So, in light of this, I decided to hang out at the gas station for a little bit. I hung out with a friend of mine who had just gotten off work there. And then after she left, I went to the girl who is the assistant manager for the store, and I was like, hey, can I go around back and empty some garbage out of my car in your dumpster? Because my girl really does get mad at me all the time because my car is always a damn mess. So I figured, hey, I'm killing two birds with one stone. I'll make my girl happy. Everything will be awesome, right? So as I go around the back of the store and I start unloading things out of my car, I'm walking back and forth, and there's two, of the big, $20 scratch lottery tickets folded up on the floor in the parking lot, kind of. It's not like where people would actually be parking or walking. It's more like around the side where the garbage trucks would come to pick up the dumpster or whatever, right? Ordinarily, I'm not the type of person who would stop and ever even give them any mind. I would have just kept walking over them and ignored them, except for two things. And thing number one is Randall. And Randall is somebody that's been a friend of mine on and off throughout my entire life, an acquaintance, whatever you want to call him. And Randall is a lot of things. Randall is chronically homeless. Randall is a drug addict. And Randall knows clever little ways to try and make enough money to get drugs for himself without ever really doing any work. And one thing that I have seen Randall do many, many times over the years is that Randall will go into garbage cans and pull out scratch lottery tickets and look at them, because apparently, more times than you would think, people throw away tickets that they think are losers and really are not. And I have seen or heard at least tell of him finding $300 and $500 winning lottery tickets by doing this. Now, of course, he dedicates entire days of time to going around to every gas station within bicycling distance and rifling through all their trash cans and stuff. It's not like he's just like finding them on the floor, and it's not like it's a common occurrence. He goes through tens of thousands of them between like finding big winners. But it does happen, and I am aware of this because of Randall. But that alone probably wouldn't have swayed me to pick up and look at these tickets, except for thing number 2, which is that the night before, I had had a dream. And here's the thing, the dream, I don't know if you guys have ever had these dreams, I've had these dreams in the past. The dream was one of these dreams wherein it was an event that really took place, but in my dream it went down slightly differently than it had in real life. And see, in the dream, it was like this one particular part of this one particular night wherein I was with this girl that I used to see named Alondra. And she used to buy, like, scratch lottery tickets, and she had on this particular night, too. And on this particular night, in real life, nothing came of it. But in my dream, for some reason, I was the one scratching one of the tickets, and I won. And I looked at her and I was like, hey, babe, we just won the lottery. And then I woke up because, well, it was a dream. But that had my mind on lottery tickets that whole day. And so when I saw those tickets on the ground, 2 things went through my head. First, I was like, maybe this is a sign I should go buy a lotto ticket. Just this once. And then I was like, well, let me pick these up and look at them. And at this point, I noticed something very peculiar, which is that these tickets were not scratched at all. I've even seen where some people will just scratch, like, the scanner code because they don't care about the game, they just want to see if it won or not, right? But these weren't even scratched on the scanner code. These had obviously never been redeemed. These were brand new tickets that nobody had ever scratched. 2 $20 lottery tickets. And so at this point I was like, well, damn, even if these are those tickets that they throw in a lot of times that are winners, but really you just win your money back, that's still a $20 windfall for me, even if one of them does that, right? So I went into the store and I scratched the first ticket. There was nothing on it. I didn't really care because, of course, I didn't pay for these tickets. Then I scratched the second ticket. And the game was such that, like most of them are, you had like 5 or 6 like winning numbers at the top, right? That were like you had to look for in the boxes down below. So I scratched my top numbers, and then I scratched the first one, and it won. And then the second box, and it won. And then the third box, and it won. And all, I think it was 20 boxes, won. Every single one. For a decent sum of money. Off a lottery ticket that I never paid for. Now, understand, the overall winnings were right at $100. And at the time, I happened to have like 30 times that much money in my pocket. But here's the thing. This got me to thinking. I have always been an unnaturally lucky person. Even if on the surface it doesn't appear that way, because sometimes really shitty things will happen to me, and I didn't necessarily have the best starting point, and I've been in a lot of really, really effed situations, right? But here's the thing, while a lot of bad things do happen to me, I always get out of all of those situations without any, like, major damage. And I do have a bunch of like little spurts of luck that happen all the time. And I don't ever have like obviously bad luck. So if anything, it's worth noting that I guess it kind of drew my attention to the fact that I'm a fairly lucky person, because a lot of people that I know who buy lottery tickets all the time probably never win $100 on them, and well, I did it without ever purchasing a ticket. Which is kind of good, because I had wanted to go buy some new shoes anyway, and that will definitely help towards that end. Essentially, they'll be free shoes that I found in a gas station parking lot, more or less. The other thing I find interesting, and I just want to touch on or reiterate it, because I honestly think, to me, from my perspective, this is the most interesting thing about this. And understand, I am in no way, shape, or form particularly a believer in, like, the paranormal or things like that, right? It's just really not something I particularly buy into. But I do find it super intriguing that I had that dream last night simply because of how it played out today. Like, I never ever would have picked up and looked at those tickets had I not had that dream. As a matter of fact, I had already walked over them like twice and ignored them, because that's what my natural personality is inclined to do. Just an interesting thought, I guess. Maybe there really is something more to this world than it seems on the surface. I don't know. You guys have a great night. I'll see you in the next video. I will be putting up these story time videos every Friday. Like I said, in the future there'll be more stories from my past and not stories from today, but I found it kind of serendipitous that this did in fact happen on the day when I already planned to make the first video in this series. So, I don't know. That's just how things work sometimes. Have a great night. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment about why it's not fair that I'm so damn lucky. And peace.